Welcome to another video. It's mid-August 2020. We got a couple of important holidays coming up. There's the presidential election, there's Halloween, there's Thanksgiving, and of course almost everybody's favorite, Christmas. And what's Christmas without lights? Well, and what are lights without the LED Lightshow Colormotion C7 light string? What's a C7 light string? Well, back in my youth, and we're talking like the 60s, I know, a long time ago, Christmas bulbs were predominantly C7. C7 is what we commonly refer today as candelabra. C7 and C9s were about this size. They were painted different colors, red, blue, green, white. Sometimes they were translucent, sometimes, but rarely, they were faceted. And this is how we lit our Christmas trees, our windows, our balconies, our roofs, our porches. Eventually, the T5 lights arrived, and those were nice because they were kind of cute and pretty, and they had different colors, and you could string a lot more of them. And compared to the C7, they didn't get as hot. These incandescent bulbs got really, really hot. Both the C7 and the T5 suffered from bulb failure, being too warm, being too fragile. As technology moved on, LED lights arrived to the Christmas string. I first noticed them in the T5s, where they could generate a multitude of colors in different patterns and different rates, depending on how much money you wanted to spend for those lights. The advantage that LED had over incandescent was it ran cooler, wasn't as fragile, and used a lot less energy. Yet in 2020, C7 incandescent bulbs are still popular. Why? Because they're bright and they're inexpensive compared to LED. Well, let me say that they're inexpensive in the short term. Yes, your outlay will be less for incandescent lights, but the energy consumed by the incandescent light is given off mostly as heat, over 90% of it. Only about 10% of it is actual light. Whereas in LED, it's almost the reverse. Your LED lights use most of their energy to give off light and give off very little heat. So in the long term, that LED string will pay for itself in a few years with the energy savings that it can provide. Now that we're done with the history of lighting, let's take a look at what LED Lightshow has to offer. It is 23 feet, 24 bulbs. That may not sound like a lot, but since these are big bulbs, and generally you're going to be placing these on the roof, the porch, fence line, about a foot of spacing is ideal. Opening the box, we see that the plug is fused, and it allows you to plug another extension onto this set. You can actually plug over 10 extension sets together because they use such low power. I think it's like 0.1 amp. Included in the string set is the module that controls the actual blinking of the lights. As we move on to the light string itself, it's all plastic. The bulbs are actually hardwired in, so there's no untwirling of these. And all the bulbs are faceted, and they all look white. The included instruction manual is nothing more than warnings about how not to use these. For example, if you're hooking them up outside, they want you to use a GFCI protected circuit. As I mentioned, light string is rated at 0.1 amps, 12 watts, and you're allowed to run up to 216 watts total for 1.8 amps. So that's over 10 strings that you can put together. And of course, to make it easier to string the lights together, you have plugs both at the front and at the end of the string. Some light strings offer remote controls that allow you to control the lights and everything. This unit doesn't do that. It just provides the control module and you simply plug in. So let's give this a shot and see what it does. The bulbs cycle through green, almost a whitish, a blue, a pinkish white, and then they pulse. And they go through a bunch of different colors when they pulse. Then they transition through colors. They flash through colors, do some more transitioning. There's a pulse that travels through the lights. And again, so it seems that everything that the box can do, it just does randomly. So here we have the lights just independently going on and off. Now they're all one color. Now they're switching to a different color. And I guess this is the beginning of that pattern. So this is, I think, pretty cool. And they don't get warm at all. I can hold all of these in my hand and no heat whatsoever. So these would be safe to put around a Christmas tree, your windows, and obviously outside would not be a problem. The unit is rated for indoor and outdoor use because they're plastic, they're durable, knock resistant. The bulbs are actually, as I mentioned earlier, hardwired into the socket because they're rated for 10 to 20,000 hours. So there's no need to change a bulb. Here's the string out around my toolbox. You can see the different colors, the brightness. It's not as intense, I'll tell you that right now, as incandescent bulbs. But the patterns are really nice. The colors are great. And despite not being as bright as incandescent bulbs, they will be noticed. To perform all the colors and different patterns, it uses a 4-wire system. So if you're looking to save energy on your Christmas tree lights and to have bulbs that'll last you for years and years and years to come, LED is going to be the way to go. And the C7 light set is a nice addition to your existing lights and to just really making Christmas a little bit more colorful and festive. If you like our video, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, support us by subscribing, and as always, thank you very much for watching. And happy holidays whenever they arrive.